This is Ben here with Olson's Hi-Fi. I'm here this week with KEF's new Blade Meta. I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm standing in between two very curvy, exotic, beautiful women. And as a stereo nerd, this might be the closest I ever come to that situation. But one of the things that, the Blade is a speaker that at its price point, when it came out, $32,000, it was the world's first single apparent source speaker. Basically meaning that all of the sounds and frequencies are coming from a single point. The KEF Blade was an amazing speaker to begin with. And so I was wondering, what are they going to do to make the KEF Blade even better? I mean, the KEF Blade was an amazing speaker. It was, I think at $32,000, you couldn't imagine a speaker that was, outperforming it or outdoing it. It was a speaker that disappeared into a room. It was holographic. It was everything you could want in a high-end speaker. And so what could KEF do to make it better? And I noticed that when the KEF went from the LS50 to the LS50 Meta, it was a huge improvement. But I didn't think this was going to be that big. And it was. The KEF Meta are actually warmer. They disperse much more widely. They're more holographic, which is hard to imagine. And kind of for anyone who's wondering what metamaterial is basically, this is an oversimplification, but it's simply just absorbing all of the, most of the air that comes out the back of the tweeter. It's absorbing the distortions, which is what is giving this speaker more of a warmer sound and a bigger sound stage. One of the other changes they made was that this speaker had a lot more depth than the previous generation. When I noticed it, I was just changing an album, and I set the stylus down and the song started playing, and I'm sitting there like literally between the two speakers, and I'm seeing a beautiful sonic image behind the speakers. And so I actually called KEF, and I'm like, wow, these things are imaging like, the depth is way bigger. And so they told me one of the design changes was that the previous generation of Blade dispersed at 130 degrees, all frequencies covered. This new generation of Blade disperses at 180 degrees, so it's even a bigger soundstage than before. So I was listening to Michael Kiwanaka's Love and Hate, and Michael Kiwanaka is when I first discovered him, it was on a Nina Simone playlist, and I thought, who is this guy from the 60s or 70s that I missed out on? He just has that like a big sound, a big band sound that I just didn't think existed anymore. It turns out he's a current artist. Anyways, his song Love and Hate, it's a very big soundstage type of song, listening to that on these speakers was a little bit hallucinogenic. And now I know what you're thinking, like, oh, he's a stereo sales guy, he's probably just having a flashback. I assure you, that is not the case. These speakers are even more holographic than the previous generation of Blade. What I mean by that is that you can close your eyes, you have a beautiful center image of the vocalist, you can pick where the instruments are on the soundstage. I have not experienced a speaker that does it as well as the Blades. At least in my store where I've been able to spend a lot of time with stuff. Another song that really stood out on the Blades was I Know You by Esperanza Spalding. She's an amazing musician. She plays the cello, sings, very dynamic voice. Man, these speakers put her in the room in a way that I have not experienced before. Very amazing. I highly recommend that song, for you guys to check out, if you, on your own set of speakers, but these speakers did a superb job. An oldie but a goodie that you have to experience on the Blades is Pink Floyd's Time. Talk about holographic. And that is one of those songs that just listening to it gives you a little bit of a contact high. Experience it on these speakers, even more so. The very beginning when all the bells start ringing, I mean, it's like they're all around the room. You must experience Pink Floyd's Time with these speakers. I'm not sure what KEF did in as far as the bass, but these definitely feel like they have a lot more kick in the bass than the previous Blade. One of the songs that we were listening to that really brought that out was Depeche Mode's Welcome to My World. that had the ceilings shaking in this place with no subwoofer going. These things dip a lot lower. That song was a lot of fun to listen to on these. It's very dynamic. If you guys have heard it, you know what I'm talking about. And then on to Fleet Fox's Cascades. That song starts off very detailed, intricate, kind of slow, and then builds up as the whole band starts to play the instruments. I'd seen, more sound staging, more detail than I'd ever experienced before. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Come down to Olson's, have us put on Esperanza Spalding's I Know You, have us put on the Fleet Foxes' Cascades, and of course Pink Floyd's Time, and come and listen for yourself. I think you're going to find that these are significantly more advanced than the previous generation of Blade, and you're going to probably find that they're amazing. So come down to Olson's and find out for yourself.